SLA is done with the 25% of the timings, the next activity should be fire a email, right? Next, similarly, at 50% you will put a stopper, and after that at 75% you will put a stopper, right? And after every stopper, what you will do, you will use activity, email activity, right? Or either use event activity of workflow. This way you have to do it. Got it? Vishal, you got it? I think Vishal, you asked this, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have to do with the activity SLA percentage.
Correct, correct.
And where will I find it? In which module?
So you you remember workflow editor to create the workflow,
Okay,
right?
in there are so many of workflows. In there I will get it,
Huh.
right?
You will create your own new workflow for your own SLA.
But the thing
Okay.
is, when I was creating one new workflow, then when I was selecting from the SLA workflow, it was it was getting open in different tab. Means I couldn't means edit from that there. That was the problem.
What was not editable? I'm not getting that. What was
Like
not
if
editable?
see if we are creating any workflow, at that day you told us that if you want to add any catalog user, then what we can do, we can just drag it from the right side and take it to the workflow wherever we are creating, right? But when I was
Correct.
doing with the workflow part, means there are option of workflow and core. So when I was taking the workflow of default SLA or whatever was there, so it was getting opened in the different tab. It was not coming on the left side. So
Achha, okay. So basically, let me tell you, just my system is starting up. I will show you over the screen. So basically, whenever you are creating a workflow or you are editing an existing workflow, right? If you want to edit an existing workflow, guys, 1 minute.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Guys, give me 2 minutes. I am connecting from my system. I'm coming with my system. It would be better. Okay. Yes, so I am here. So I will show you over the instance, right? I am opening my instance, then I will share you my screen. There you guys can see what I am saying. Yes, guys. So let me open the instance. So here is a module, workflow editor, right? So you have to use this module to create, update, or change any workflow. So what was I saying? You guys will create the workflow from the workflow editor module, and then you will attach it to your SLA. For example, if I'm opening any SLA definition and I'm opening priority 1 resolution, 1 hour SLA. So this is a workflow editor, right? So from here, new workflow, you will create the workflow, submit the workflow, and publish the workflow. Then only you will come here. Yeah, why it's take so much time? Right. So here, 1 minute. Let me check. Right. So you guys seeing this workflow here, right? You will click on that workflow because this is in a different module. That's why. 1 minute. Let me show you.
Praveen, there's a client script. It hides the workflow. I was doing this yesterday.
I'm also looking for that client script. Yes. But it should not behave in this way. It is behaving.
I just disabled the first one, hide workflow field.
It is behaving wrong way. I cleared the workflow value, clear the flow value, still it is not showing the workflow. You will also say means face the same problem. Okay, so you can come to the client script and you can make them true false, active false, right? We can later we can investigate what is happening there, right? So I am not going in that discussion right now. We can do that later. But our primary question was how to attach a workflow on the SLA definition, right? So how to attach the workflow? First of all, you will create the workflow from the workflow editor, right? For example, you created the workflow, okay, using the new workflow. After creating the workflow, you guys will see in the core section na, once I will create the workflow, here many activities will come. From those activities, if you are running your workflow on a task table, on a SLA table basically, not on a task, on a SLA table, so you guys will have a activity like SLA percentage. You guys will drag and drop the activity here over the workflow, right? And it will wait until the time is passed up to the 25%, okay? And still I don't have 1 minute यार, ऐसे नहीं मानेगा ये. कोई UI पॉलिसी भी है क्या इस पे?
प्रवीण वो फर्स्ट वाली क्लाइंट स्क्रिप्ट खोल लो आप.
ये वाली?
ये फर्स्ट वाली, फर्स्ट ऊपर ऊपर, नहीं हाइड वर्कफ्लो फील्ड अनलेस 2010, फर्स्ट ऊपर और ऊपर. हाँ जी, ये वाली.
ठीक है. So what will happen? You guys will create your workflow and then you can means you can come here, right? And once you guys will come here, so all your workflows you have created for your SLAs will come, and then you have to select any workflow and just submit. So once your record is created in ServiceNow, automatically this SLA will get attached on the basis of the conditions, right? And this particular workflow will start to run. Vishal, anything else, or is this sufficient?
Yeah, Praveen, I got this SLA percentage time. I was not getting how to get that percentage timer on the workflow. Now
Achha.
you told me that you have to go to the SLA definition. There you have to create workflow. Then you will get in the core. So I am getting it. So I can do it now.
Okay, done, great. Now, so now we will cover our topics. Any other question? Meanwhile, anyone want to ask?
Yes, Praveen. There's a question in yesterday's assignment: auto close issues if it's 3 days in resolved state.
ठीक. Okay.
So how do we check this?
So means, for example, 1 minute. Your question was from this document.
Yes, last question.
Auto close issues if it's 3 days in resolved state. So for example, when your incident, or if you're talking about the issue, when your issue is comes into the resolved state, right? So you have to check that time when it was when it comes to resolved state. So there should be a field like resolved underscore at, and that field value will be set once you will resolve your issue or your incident, right? So first of all, you should have a field, right? In that field, you will capture the timing of the resolution, right? After that, what you will do, you will create a schedule job. That schedule job will hit your issues, all issues, right? And it will check how many issues are those issues which have completed their 3 days, right? If those issues have completed their 3 days, then set their state as close. Okay.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yes, that way it will work.
And Praveen, even I'm not able to receive emails on instance,
Acha.
like the problem you were having yesterday.
Me too. I also tried the same way, but I'm not getting the mail.
ओके ठीक है जी, देखते हैं उसको। अभी मैं एक बार टॉपिक्स वगैरह देख लेता हूँ, फिर लास्ट में देखते हैं उस चीज को क्या हो रहा है।
Okay.
हाँ ठीक है, तो अभी ना ठीक है, बट हाँ इनबाउंड ईमेल एक्शन में ना यू गाइस हैव टू कीप इन माइंड वन थिंग। सो द पर्सन फ्रॉम विच यू आर सेंडिंग द ईमेल, दैट पर्सन's email ID should in your instance. Okay, confirm this at least once.
Okay.
So if you are sending to your means to your instance from your email ID, your email ID should be available with some user, right? So later we will cover it, all the issues. Today's topics is guys ACL condition and ACL scripting. So we covered yesterday part. We already completed. Introduction to workflow is also done. SLA definition is also done. ACL conditions and ACL scripting. Okay. So so what happens basically, ACL is the security layer. In terms of security, you can understand it. So access control list. So what we want basically, we want to restrict the access to a particular object or to particular things in ServiceNow. Majorly we require it to restrict the access of the different tables, columns, right? So ACL are the way how you can configure your access to your different resources in ServiceNow. So this is the thing which is called access control list. This is the full form of the ACL, right? Now, for example, I am going to create a table. I am going to create a table. By that time, I have to check some end user as well. End user means the user who does not have any role or does not have any big role. Big role means any important role like admin or ITIL. So let me check. I think this.
I guess able tutor. Able tutor is the one who is not having any role.
Okay, but we can try with this user also, testing one. Yeah, so I'm coming here. We'll create a new table. By that time, I'm checking that what are the roles of this user. So this user have a sense underscore internal role. Okay. So this role do nothing. Just it is a representation to identify that the user is internal user or a external visitor, right, or a guest. In terms of these names, you can understand it. So for example, I am creating a table. Example with a customer name. Uh, I'm just creating two field in this table. In this yes, in this table, simple string fields. Okay, now the major thing we are going to do is we are removing this checkbox, create access controls, right? So do remember that we are going to remove this checkbox, clear this checkbox, rest all the things similar, but just clear this checkbox. Now save it. Here I will log in with my end user, testing one. Right, guys. So we have created the table customer sample. Okay. Now, what I want to show you that is this customer table, and we have removed access controls, is visible to the end user or not, right? For now, end user is going on a service portal view. So guys, I will redirect this user to the backend view, means this view. So for that I have to do little changes. You guys will not to do it because I have configured this instance to do some different things. So that's why I have to remove some properties. So wait for a minute. Huh? Guys, wait a minute. Yes, guys. So Okay. So what we did, guys, we create a table. Okay, we create two fields in the table. We remove these access controls. So let me tell you, by the time, because yeah, today instance is very slow, I don't think so that this is some issue at ServiceNow side for the personal instances specifically. Sometimes it happens, and it depends upon the load, how much load is on your instance. So because of many modules, my instance is always slow. So let me tell you what we are going to do by that time. So basically, what I want to show you that we create a table. We create a table from the admin perspective, but is this table is available to the end user or not? Because we have not created any access controls for this table. So what should happen? Basically, this table should not be accessible to a end user. Okay, this table should not be accessible to the end user unless we will not create ACLs for any table. The table will not be visible to all the persons, right? So for that purpose, we have to create the ACLs. Okay. For example, I am admin. I can easily open this table, right? I can easily open this table, but a end user can't directly open this table. So guys, you are seeing this message: security constraints prevent access to requested page. So this thing you will get if you don't have any access, right? So as soon as I impersonate with the person, with the testing one user, so this is the user basically, who is an end user, who have a very limited have very limited accessibility, right? So, and that accessibility is related to the essence underscore internal role, which is not a major role in ServiceNow. So that's why this person can't access. And as soon as I will go back with the administrator, I will be able to access this table easily, right? So first rule is that if your table is not accessible, means if you are creating a table and you have not created any access control list, means you have not created any ACLs, so this table will not be accessible to any user, any end user, until the person is not admin. Admin can access it, but any other user can't access it, right? So now what I want basically, that today it will take my whole energy, this instance. Time is also getting wasted, but यार मेरे पास दोनों इंस्टेंस सेम ही है, दोनों की हालत सेम ही है. So what now if I will refresh it again? So now I am from the system administrator and I am refreshing it again, so you guys can see I can see the table. So basically, for that purpose, what we have to do, we have to create access controls. Once you will click this checkbox, what this checkbox do, this checkbox will create a role, right? This checkbox will create a role, a custom role for every table. So a custom role is created. You have to give this role to your user. Which one? Testing one. Then testing one user can access this ACL. So there are the two ways. One, when you're creating a table, at that time you can create a custom role and you can give your user that role, right? But if you don't want to include any role, right, and you want that No, I don't want a role specific ACL or role specific thing, or I don't want to create a new role, right? For that purpose, you just keep it false, right? Keep it clear, and you guys can create a ACL. Now, how to create a ACL? From the related list also you can create a ACL, and from this part you can also create the ACL. Where? From the left navigation. Right, so you can see here system security access control. For that purpose, but before working on the ACL, you guys have to use a elevate role, and that elevate role is security admin. Okay, you will come here on the elevate roles, click here and click on the security underscore admin role, and okay, now you have security admin role, and now you can work with the ACLs. So I have taken that role, right? Now I am coming over the access control. So I will open it, and similarly the same thing I can create from here, right? Once I will refresh it, you will be able to see the new button here. So from this module or from here, you also can create a ACL. So from these two places, you can create the ACL. Now, for example, I will create the new ACL. So means initially your table is not accessible to anyone. Okay, it is not public. We have to create its access to all the users. So for that purpose, you will create the ACLs to give access to all the users. So type. So guys, for now we are going to work with a record type only. All the other things, processor you will not use for now. REST endpoint you may use tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, then we can cover it. UI page for now you will not use. UX page we have not used ever, right? Client callable script include means yes, this ACLs you can apply on the script includes as well. Okay, so for now we are focused on the record because we want to restrict the access of a record. Okay, and on the record what kind of operation? So on the record I want to control the read operation. Okay, so you can see create, read, update and delete, all the operations are here: create, read, write and delete, right? So I want to control the read operation on this record, right? Admin overrides. If admin overrides, admin will be out of this ACL. Means admin, these ACLs will not be imposed on the admin. Okay. Now in the name part, I will select my table. So my table is u underscore for sample. Okay. Right. Now there two kind of ACLs we create in one ACL specific to the table. So I am selecting here name, but I am keeping this box empty. Means I am keeping it none. So means I am giving the table level of access. Once I will create select the star, means I am talking about the field level of access. Okay, star means field level access, none means only table level access, right? So none, table level, star, all the fields. Star will represent all the fields. If I will talk about a single field, if I will select a single field, so this ACL is dedicated to the security of the single field only. Getting it? That way we have to understand it. Now, first of all, I will create. So first of all, you guys have to give access of the table, right? On the fields we will come later, but first of all, give the access of the table. So after that it will check that okay, on this table you have given a none access, means you have given a table level access. any role you require to give the access? No, I'm saying no, no role is required to access this table. Any role can access this table. Okay, so in that case I am keeping empty role, I am keeping conditions empty, right? I can submit it. So that way we are creating our first ACL. Continue. But you can see in my instance automatically it will append SNC underscore internal role, but this behavior will not happen in your instance. Okay, this is just in my instance only. Okay, now means later you will activate some plugins, then it will be your it will be on your instance as well. Now so means I created this ACL, and for you will guys can keep it empty. Okay, now I will check that is my user able to read the table at least. So let's import it again with the testing one. I am impersonated. I will check this table. Yes, this time the person can access it, right guys? So this time he can access it because I have given a table level read access. Okay, but you are seeing here that no new button is here. So let's create a new means create level access also. So means the person can see the table but can't create the record. Let's give it a record level record creation access as well. Now what I will do, I will means create one more ACL. So this ACL is dedicated to the read operation. I will create one more ACL for the what this happens. Acha, okay. So what I will do, 1 minute. Okay. So now what we will do, we will create a means we will give a creation access of the table, right? So table level creation access, each and everything would be similar. Just we will keep, just we will change the operation. So change the operation to create. Okay, and yes, table level creation and insert and stay, because I am changing in the existing record. Continue. Now we will see that person is able to see the new, means he can create the new record or not, right? Okay, I am again impersonating the person. Let's refresh it. Yes, the person can see the new button, he can create the new record. Okay, now let's come here. Right, the person can create the record, but he can't actually, means the person does not have any field level access. He have the table level access but no filter level access, right? So now what we'll do, I will create one more ACL, but I have to impersonate with the user and impersonation. Now I will create a right level access. So these basically called very basic ACLs. First of all, read ACL on table, create ACL on table, write ACL on table. First of all, we create basic default ACLs, right? So these are called default ACLs as well. And once we will import with the user and we'll see if something has changed or not. Let's refresh it. Right, guys? You can see I can create the record now. I can means access the fields as well now. So let's, for example, I am putting here the name Praveen Kumar and I am submitting it. Okay, so guys, I can see the record. I can open this record as well, and I can do any changes in this record as well. So that's way how you means which user can create record, which user can read record, which user can update the record, and which user can delete the record. So there is one more action. If you will see, one more action is delete, right? So similarly, you will create a delete for delete purpose. You will create one more ACL. Okay. Now, it's little advanced thing. What can we do? 1 minute. Yeah, let me charge. हेलो गुड जी आप बताइए guys 1 minute now. Yes, so second name. Okay, okay. Praveen Kumar, I have submitted this name. So yes, I was on the delete operation. So means guys, you can also create a delete ACL. That way, any person and the person can delete the ACL. Now, for example, consider a little advanced thing. I am saying that the person who is having ITL role only that person can create the record. Otherwise, no person can create the record. What I will do with whom I am proceeded. Let me proceed with the admin first. हाँ ठीक है. So now I am with the administrator. Okay. What I saying you guys that for example consider that I want a person who should have ITL role only can create the record. So operation is just create the record. So what I will do, I will select the role ITL from here. So I will select the ITL here. Just choose ITL. Yes. Okay. And now what will happen? So now only the person who is having ITL role can create the record. Otherwise, no other person can create the record. Clear to everyone? I think it is clear to everyone. What is the role here? So first of all, what it will do, ServiceNow will check what kind of operation is there, what is the table name, is there any field on the table? Okay, it will see that, okay, now it will see that all these things are matching, so it will say which role can create the record on this table, right? So it will check the logged in user role, it will check the logged in user role. Okay, this is ITL, got it, good. Then it will check any condition you have given. So for example, I am giving the condition is that person should be ITL and first name should starts with Praveen. Okay, only then you can create the record. Apart of it, one more advanced thing ServiceNow gives, a scripting advanced. So if all these things are not sufficient to you guys, you can do the scripting as well here. So what can I my current record having a field? For example, in my current record there is a field, for example, caller. Okay, if current dot caller dot company equals to in Morphis, then only you can record. For that purpose, I have to set a variable ans equals to, sorry, not the false, equals to true, and else part ans equals to false. Sorry. This way. So these advanced things are given in ServiceNow for the ACL perspective. Now, what advanced thing I was saying you? So these are the few advanced things in the ACL you have to keep in mind. Now, for example, one more scenario. So the scenario is I am having two fields here, right? I want that no one can see, means I want that no one can see second name. So if you will come on the form as well, you can see the second name and first name. So the testing user can also see second name, first name. So means what I want to say you, on column level or on field level also you can apply your what? You can apply your ACLs. For example, I want that first name, no one can update the first name. Let's see how it will work. I will come on the right ACL. Right is equivalent to the update. And I am saying that no one, whether SNC internal, any user, no one can update it. I will come on the advance. I will say answer equals to false. Just I will update it. Refresh it once, because I am admin, right? Proceed with the testing one. Come here again, refresh it. Okay, sorry, yeah. I mistakenly, I have means the complete record would not be editable because I did not create the new ACL. Okay, 1 minute. Huh. ठीक है. This is my ACL. Okay. Remove it. Save it. I will create a new ACL. So this ACL is basically telling that, okay, on this table you can write, you can create, right, and you can update, right, on all the fields. But I want that on a particular single field you can't do anything. So for that purpose, I will create a new ACL. For example, on the second name you can't do anything, or on the first name you can't do anything. Right, guys? I can't update the first name now. Okay, getting it. So this way we can restrict many fields. And you know what is the benefit of this these ACLs, that you even using the client script you can't do anything wrong, because it will work on the server side as well. Okay, so if somehow you have managed to change the value of this field, but no, ACL will calculate it at server side, then that okay, you have changed the value, but I am expecting that you will not change the value of this particular field, it will restrict you. So guys, this is the way how we configure the ACL in ServiceNow, right? This is very confusing topic, right? In very clear, in very crystal clear way I told you, but yes, it is very confusing topic. Later you will come, so you may get confused. So do practice a lot for this specific topic. Okay, now as I told you, different types of ACLs you can create. Different kind of operations is also here, right? For example, it is related to the list edit only. It is for the report view, report on report view. So many things you are not related to you guys. For now, create, read, write and delete kind of ACLs you will create for you. Okay, tell me. Okay, advanced, I told you that we create 3 levels of ACL: record level, means table level, then all fields level, then particular field level. Okay, advanced, we can write the script. Condition, we can choose the condition. Role, by role we also can control the access of the records in our table. Okay, so that's it about the ACL. Now tell me any doubt, anything, any clarity anywhere you want, guys.
Yeah, Praveen. Hello.
Yes.
So in real-time scenarios, also deleting a table is not given to a particular end user. It will be given to some particular user, right?
So
Or
means we keep it up to the
someone.
admin mostly.
Okay.
Yes.
And a list edit option basically works with whenever we are changing some values in the list view, right? Then
Yes.
it will restrict that at the time.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
Yeah, Praveen, I have a question.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just restricted the first name, but you created a different ACL for that. Can't we do same in one ACL only, that we are giving access? Yeah, you can create the record, but you cannot edit or cannot edit this particular field.
Yes, yes. So means you can create the record, but you can't edit it. So for that purpose, uh, means you will create a ACL first of all for the create, then you will create a ACL for the write. Okay, and in that write you can control that. Means whenever there is anything related to the updation of the table on the table. So what will happen? There it may be a little bit confusing for you. Let me tell you. So here you will see I created write table, and write means update, right? So
Right.
so first time when you will create the record, it will allow you. First time when you will create the record, or for example, one more ACL you guys can create. Where is the create ACL? So what you will do, you will come here, you will select the create and choose from here star. This will allow all the fields to create new values. Okay, and in that case, come on the right and write here answer equals to false. So in this way you can put the values on all your records using the create operation, but write will restrict it using this answer equals to false. Okay.
But we have to create two different ACLs.
Yes,
Then only it
yes,
will
yes,
work.
yes, yes, different ACLs you have to. Correct. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So guys, for each and everything you may have to create 6 to 7 to 8 ACLs, and starting 4 ACLs are default ACLs. So if you will check the checkbox now, you can test it on your instance as well. If you will go to the table record, if it is, yeah. So once you will click on here create access control, right, it will create a new role, or you can choose a different role from here. Okay, now what it will do, it will create 4 default ACLs. Those 4 default ACLs are create, read, update and delete, right? What it will do, it will attach this particular role on every ACL. So what will happen when your ACL engine will work, it will see, okay, this role is here, and it will allow you. And because there is no any scripting, no condition is there, so it will allow you. So these are basic default ACLs are created using this checkbox as well. Okay. Got it, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
You practice by yourself now. I know there may little confusion may come later. We can do them. Means we can clarify them in tomorrow class. Okay.
Actually,
Now,
Parveen, just a question.
uh,
Hello.
yes.
If we are extending the parent table and we have some implementation on the ACL, so we can apply the ACL on the child table, or we will apply different ACL on that.
Okay. So you asking that if we have a parent-child relationship in the table, what will happen to the parent fields? What will happen to the child fields? How ACL will work in this
Yes,
scenario,
sir.
right? Okay. So
Yes,
if you are inheriting your parent to your child, all the ACLs which are working with the parent, they will be working. They will keep on working, right? So for that purpose, what you will do, you have to change your ACLs and you have to modify the conditions there that, okay, if this is the ACL or if this is this particular class, so means what happens whenever your parent table is included in the child table, in that scenario, your table name would be the child table name. In the ACL, you will put the condition. What condition? That if the table name equals to this, then allow. Otherwise, don't allow. So by default, if you are including your parent child, so parent ACLs will also get included in the files automatically. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yes. Okay, guys. So any other question?
Yes, sir. One more question from the assignment, actually. There is a question in the assignment: convert RBR code to script include. Can you elaborate this question?
Okay. So convert your BR to script include means, for example, it is just for your practice purpose, nothing special. For example, you have created some, you have written some script in your business tool. That script may be related to the deletion of the record, may be related to the updation of the record, any kind of script that there may be. You guys have to put that code, means remove that code from there and put that same code in the script include and use the script include in your business tool. That is the purpose, just to make you aware about the script include and the business tools scripts. That's it. Otherwise, no special purpose of that question.
Okay, so we can make a function for that operation in the script include, and we can use that script include in BR.
Correct. Yes.
So we are not supposed to use like a client callable and then we have to use it. We have to just implement it with the BR and script include, right?
So means you will not create a script include in this scenario. Obviously, you will not create the script include which is client callable. Anyhow, the script include should be only server side. Yes.
But
that was the thing that was taking the most time. That's why we are stuck on that assignment, that how we can do it. We were using Glide Ajax. We thought that we have to use client callable and then we have to make it working on the form.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Like some question like contract expiry date. Yesterday I had a talk with my buddy. She also told me to do it that way. That first you have to auto populate the end date to some custom field. Then you have to make it client callable and it should display on the client using Glide Ajax that your contract has expired.
Okay.
So she told me to do that. So I had to return two values from there. One to set the date to a custom field, and the other was to compare the dates and find out whether it is expired or not. So this is how I have made that business rule. I have converted into script include because she changed the condition for me. She told me to do that way using Glide Ajax.
Please clear this doubt, Praveen, how we have to do it.
Okay. So primary question is that for means you are having, you're talking about some specific question right now.
Yeah,
No, we
that
are
was,
talking about the question that we have to convert all the BR into script include. What
Huh?
we have to actually do in that.
Okay, so I told you. For example, how many business rules you have written? You hope you think.
I guess 23.
Okay, for 20 means all related to the issue management.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
And
many
BR2 is different. BR2 is having, I guess, 11 business rule, which is working on incident or problem that are different. But business rule one, I guess, those are 23, and those
23.
are for issue only.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, for that purpose, it will not take so much time. You have to do one thing only. For example, you have 23 business rules, right? Create a single script include. Okay, and in that script include, create means for every business, in every business rule you have given some name. So create 23 functions in the same script include. Okay, and from all those different business tools, call those functions which are related to their name. Okay, so means you have to get one script include only, copy paste your code directly. Maybe little changes there may come. I am not saying that exactly all the things will be similar. Little changes may become there, but yes, it is not a very much time taking thing. Just create one script include, create 23 functions in that script include, call those functions from your different business tools, and you know that which function is related to the which business tool, right? And you can do this activity in this way.
Praveen, that was the biggest doubt because we all are stuck on that. We are just doing glide Ajax and everything.
So guys,
That's why it is taking
Yeah,
too much of time.
that was taking time. And yesterday, my buddy also told me that you never means if you are calling the this script include from business rule, then what is the use of this question that you have to convert the business rule into script include? You should make it client callable. You should call it through Glide Ajax. So that was taking so long to make everything again and call it
Acha,
from Glide Ajax.
okay. So guys, there may be the difference between the means scenarios or exposures to everyone. I can't say anything about that, but yes, okay, no issues. You can let your buddies know that we will do it in this way we discuss in the meeting, and this way we will cover it. Okay, and guys, if you have spent your time now, so at least you have learned one more thing. So many times you have used glide ajax, so means everything you are doing, maybe some time is means you are thinking that it is wastage of your time, because you are doing the same thing repeatedly again and again. But yes, at least you will be remember the syntax, right? And you will be very clear about the syntaxes as well, how to utilize them. Means your fingers will be uh, means your finger will be habitual for those syntax, at least, right? So okay, if you have any confusion in any question, guys, you can put it on this chat, on this training chat. I will tell
Praveen,
you.
I have one more small doubt.
Mm-hmm.
In the client script part, there was one question in which we have to make a field on issue task table, which should be having state and city, right? And so whenever we are changing particular state, according to that, only those city will be displayed on the city field, right? So for that we have used client script, and in the client script we have used hard coded, means we have given the values, means we have used the status like state like AP and MP. So AP is having two states, MP is having two states. Okay. So what I have done, I have used those in the client script and I have given the hard coded values in the client script. So is that bad practice? Because the question is for client script. As per the discussion with the buddy we had yesterday, he told me that you have to convert it into script include. But in the client script, when we were doing it, script include part was not done. So I have used hard coded values for client script calling. Is that wrong way?
Okay, so if it is given in the client script means assignment, then yes, the way you are doing it, it is correct. Why it is so? Because we want you to give exposure of the different functions you can use in the glide. It means you can use in the client script those functions which are related to the G underscore form API. Now, but yes, in actual way, you can say yes, this is a bad practice, and you also not do it with the script include. Yeah, you will do it using the dependent. Okay, using the dependent
Yeah, we
field.
can particularly control with the dependent field. There is no need for scripting if there is real-time
Yes,
scenario.
So in the real time scenario, we always do it with the scripting. But if you have used it using the hard coded way, because you have used add option, remove option kind of things, right?
Yeah.
So yes, so that is for your practice. If you are do it in this way, that is okay. No
Okay.
issues.
Thanks for the clarification, Praveen.
Okay. Any doubt? Anyone have?
Praveen, I have a doubt. In the assignment of script include, send an email to user containing all incidents in which that user is in caller ID field. So on what conditions do we have to send the email?
Okay, so it is saying that all the incidents you have to send in the email where caller equals to the any person, right? So first of all, you for this purpose you guys have to use your email script. Okay, in that email script, what you will do, you will take that what who is the person or who is the person as your caller, or you can take for your sample any person and check that what are the different incidents are already open for that person, right? You can take all those incidents, create a table format, a small table format using the HTML table, right? And you can send that email to that person. Okay, so means getting it.
But on what conditions do we have to send that email? Like on weekly basis, like state is changing, or like what condition?
Can you tell me that which document is this? I will open it.
The assignment for script include an email script. It is having the name script include and email scripting. Yeah, this one.
Okay, send an
second last.
Okay, send an email to user containing all incidents in which that user is in caller ID field. Acha, so you are asking the triggering condition.
Yes.
Triggering condition on the updation. Yeah. Okay. So triggering condition, whatever the triggering condition you want to choose, you can have. You can just create a. You can do one thing. Just create a field. Sorry, yeah, not the field. Just create a UI action on your incident table. Okay. Fire the email. Right. In that UI action, you can fire the event. From that event, you can fire your email. In this way, you can do it. So whatever scenario you want to have, you can have it. Triggering condition you can decide by yourself. There is no foundation. Okay. Yes.
Is in the same question trigger notification. We can trigger any notification. There is no specification, right?
No,
means we can create our own event from event registry and we can fire it from the notification part.
Yes. You can. Yes.
Okay.
So they means all these things is specifically related to the practice only, not as for any scenario, any table, anything. Okay. Any doubt?
So you were asking, you and Pradyuman were asking why you are not completing assignment. The reason was that only we were stuck in the glide Ajax and everything. That's why it is taking too much of time.
That is a good news for me. I want you to stuck in somewhere so that you guys can at least due to somehow you can read some extra things.
Yeah. So we were going through the videos how to use it. So that was taking a bit more time. So we got clarified. Thanks for the clarification. So we can complete the assignment by today only. We hope so.
Praveen, I'm having one more doubt.
Yes, Ankita.
In the service catalog assignment, we have a question. Below variable should be mandatory. In the service catalog assignment. Catalog creation variable. Yes, this one.
Which
below,
one?
Scroll down. This. Scroll down. Scroll down. More. Yes, here. The doc type is a specialist. Below variable should be mandatory and visible if doc type is specialist and specialty. So which variable are we?
Okay. So yeah, guys, you can check there. I am not exactly remember. Actually, there is a type of field which is related to the document or attachment. So means over the form section now we can give a field which is a kind of attachment field, right? And in that attachment you can directly attach your document. Did you search in all the field types? Did you found any document or attachment kind of field?
Praveen, we
Yeah,
have
there
this
is one
variable.
field, document type.
Yes, we have this variable, and we need to make some variables mandatory. So here it is written below variables should be mandatory. Which variable are we talking about here?
Acha, acha,
The
acha.
condition we have seen, doc type is a specialist, but which variable are we talking about?
Okay, so if doc underscore type is a specialist, in that case, there is a variable like specialty.
There is a variable v doc
This one,
type.
v underscore specialty. It should become mandatory.
And what about doc type?
Okay, for doc type, let me check either there is something missing here. Here is, this is here, na?
Yes.
Okay,
So
this is a multiple choice. Specialist 100, pedestrian 200, primary care physician 300, free typing. Okay. So, हाँ तो ये बताओ what the question is here?
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि यहाँ
हाँ.
पे कंडीशंस दी हुई हैं कि जो नीचे बिलो वेरिएबल्स दिए हैं उन्हें
हाँ.
मैंडेटरी करो और विजिबल करो अगर डॉग टाइप की जो सिलेक्ट चॉइस है वो स्पेशलिस्ट हो. तो बिलो वेरिएबल्स जो वहाँ मेंशन है क्वेश्चन में वो कौन से वेरिएबल हमको मैंडेटरी और विजिबल करने हैं?
हाँ तो वो ये ना b underscore specialty. That's it. This one.
ठीक है.
b underscore specialty. Okay.
ठीक. थैंक यू.
जी. तो anything else?
प्रवीण एक स्मॉल डाउट है वही सेम वाला मेरा विजिबिलिटी हो रहा है पर मैंडेटरी नहीं हो रहा है. सॉरी मैंडेटरी हो रहा है मगर visibility नहीं हो रहा है. अगर जैसे मैं अपॉइंटमेंट रिक्वेस्ट में स्पेशलिस्ट पे जाता हूँ तो मैंडेटरी हो रहा है.
Karthik, got your question. So guys, always remember, if you will try to hide a variable which is mandatory, it will not be hidden. Right? Means you have made a variable mandatory and then you are trying to hide it. So your hide functionality will not work.
Okay.
First of all, you have to remove the means you have to make that field non-mandatory. Then you will hide it. Okay, Karthik?
नहीं अभी यहाँ पे मैंडेटरी नहीं है बट इट इज नॉट गेटिंग हाइडेड. इफ आई क्लिक ऑन स्पेशलिटी इट इज गेटिंग हाइडेड. इट इज गेटिंग मैंडेटरी बट
अच्छा, so
when I go to pediatrician it is getting not mandatory but not getting invisible.
Okay, so you have used what you have used here, policy or client script?
No, catalog UI policy. Here I have added a condition. V doc type is specialist.
Acha. Okay, let's do one thing. Connect with me after this call around 1:30. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And what happened to your last issue?
It isn't resolved. I spoke with Buddy. He is saying there is something issue in the instance. We'll see that later. You just submit the assignment and focus on next.
अच्छा. Okay. ठीक है. Okay. So call me at 1:30. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, friend.
Yeah, Praveen, actually that template part I was asking that day, that I have made one HTML code table using that HTML code and it was not attaching to my notification. So still like my doubt is not clear, it's still not happening. So if I could also connect if possible today
Means you are sending an email and that email contains HTML table,
No.
right?
Template, yes.
HTML table template it contains, but it is not having any data.
Yes.
अच्छा, okay, ठीक है. So around 1:30 means you both can come and we will talk together. ठीक है?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay जी, ठीक है. So I think no any other doubts? Anyone have any problem, any issue?
Praveen, about the email, inbound email, how do we configure that?
Acha, okay. So for the inbound email, guys, I will say you just focus on two things, because from 12:30 I have some another meeting, guys. I have to go for that. So for that, what you can do, check at least that in the email properties you have enabled your setting, right? Means email receiving setting is enabled, correct? Second thing, always confirm that the person from where you are sending the email have at least one user account associated with it. For example, if I am sending the email from praveen.kumar@morpheus.com, so praveen.kumar@morpheus.com should be associated with some user at least, right? So these two things confirm. Still there is no, still it is misbehaving, we will cover it later surely. So in the first session even I will take this, right? And on all the instances we can check it, whoever is not able to resolve it. Okay.
Okay, Praveen. Thank you.
Okay. ठीक है जी. Okay. Any other thing we have to notice for today, which we will cover tomorrow?
Praveen, I guess for UI action, one part is we are left out that we have to use client side and server side at the same time. I guess.
Correct. ठीक है. So in the when we will tomorrow will start the meeting at that time, means remind me again. We will cover this part again tomorrow. ठीक है. So means I will give you the scenario tomorrow. ठीक है. Anything is pending, guys, which we are forgetting? So any one of you can make me remember. Okay, we can cover any pending things. ठीक है. So I am closing this call now for guys, and we will connect tomorrow. Any doubts, any issues, you can come to me or can message me. And Pranshu and you can connect me at 1:30. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, so thank you. Bye bye. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you, Praveen.